Hello, year 8s. Welcome back. One last quick video on factorizing. I told you last time when we did the factorizing, it got a little bit complicated, a little bit of trial and error. There was a little shortcut we could try. I'm here to show that to you today. But before we do, I have a quick question to get you warmed up this morning, and that is, what geometric figure is like a runaway parrot? What geometric figure is like a runaway parrot? Okay, so quadratics. If you remember back module 3 when we did sequences, all quadratics can be written like that: ax squared plus bx plus c. And what we're doing is right here is we're trying to factorize a quadratic. And in this case, the a is 3, the b is 14, and the c is 8. Remember, a, b, and c just stand for numbers depending on the particular thing. So I'm going to have a little shortcut. Last time, you remember, we tried to put it in brackets, which we're still going to need to do. And we put 3x and x, and then 8. We had to do a little bit of trial and error. Was it 1 and 8, or 8 and 1? Was it 2 and 4, or 4 and 2? And we tried a few things, so we got the answer. There's a little shortcut here, and I call this the AC method. It saves a little bit of the guesswork, but maybe there's a couple extra steps. So all the questions I'm going to do in this short video, there's only a couple questions, are the same ones we did in the last video on factorizing things like this. So you have all the questions, you have all the answers. What I want you to do is try, after you watch this short video, try this method, and you can decide which method you prefer and which method you think works better. Okay, so the AC method, my first step is I'm going to multiply a times c together. A is 3, c is 8, and 3 times 8 is 24. So that's the first step. That's why we call it the AC method. The first step is multiply a and c together. Now, I'm looking for things that multiply to 24 and add, so multiply to 24 and add to 14. That's what I'm looking for. And we'll see why this works in just a few minutes. So 24, things multiply to 24. 1 and 24, 3 and 8, 4 and 6, 2 and 12. 2 and 12 add up to 14. So the numbers I want to use are 2 and 12. Those are the numbers I'm going to use. So back to our brackets then. Since it was a 3x squared, I'm going to write 3x for both of these. Now you might be thinking, that's not going to be right. You're going to see what happens here in just a minute. Just trust me that this is going to work. Whatever a is, that's how we're going to start. And I have 2 and 12, so now it doesn't matter which bracket I put them in. The 2 and the 12 doesn't matter. And then, all right, so again, this is not the answer. Don't worry, don't panic. This is not the answer. You can see 3x times 3x is 9x squared. 12 times 2 is 24, not 8. After we do this, we're going to make a big fraction and put it over 3. Why over 3? Because a is 3. Whatever a is what we're going to put at the bottom of the fraction. Okay, so now we just need to tidy this up. We're almost there. We just need to tidy it up. So how are we going to tidy it up? Well, one of my brackets, look at this bracket here, 3x plus 12, I can factor something out, can't I? I can factor out a 3. So let's factor out a 3 from that bracket. That's going to leave me with x plus 4. My other bracket is 3x plus 2. And this is all over 3. Now notice what happens. 3 divided by 3 is 1. So this is going to give me my final answer. It's going to be x plus 4 times 3x plus 2. Does that work? X times 3x is 3x squared. X times 2, let's write it out, is 3x squared. X times 2 is 2x. 4 times 3x is 12x. And 4 times 2 is 8. And I simplify that, 2x plus 12x is 14x, it works. This method will work all the time. Notice there was much less guesswork. This time I didn't have to try lots of things. Okay, let's try this. I'm going to go ahead and work through this one with you. So our AC method, AC equals 30, right? 2 times 15 is 30. So I want things that multiply to 30. That multiply to 30 and add, they have to add to 11. So let's check out our things that multiply to 30. 1 times 30, that doesn't add to 11. 3 times 10, that doesn't add to 11. 15 times 2, that doesn't add to 11. 6 times 5, that multiplies to 30 and adds to 11. So the numbers I'm going to use are 6 and 5. So let's go ahead and write this out. Since this is a 2x squared, I'm going to write 2x in both brackets. 2x in both brackets. My numbers are 6 and 5. It doesn't matter. Plus 6 plus 5, and the whole thing will be over 2. Why? Because a is 2. Now, can I factor anything? After you do this, don't forget, always check your brackets. You're going to be able to factor something out. Look at this, 2x plus 6, I can factor something out. I can factor a 2 out. So it's going to be 2 times x plus 3 times 2x plus 5 all over 2. The 2's cancel, and I have my answer. I factorize it, x plus 3 times 2x plus 5. You can check your work from last time, or you can expand the brackets, and I'll leave it to you to see that works. Okay, so AC method. A times C, 4 times 3 is 12. Things that multiply to 12 and add to 8. 1 and 12, 3 and 4, 2 plus 6 is 8. 2 times 6 is 12, 2 plus 6 is 8. So we can start our factorizing. Again, since A is 4, both brackets are going to be a 4x. Always, whatever A is, both brackets are going to be a 4, and I'm going to divide by 4. Now my numbers are 2 and 6. All right, it doesn't matter which goes where. Okay, now look to factor. Now look what happens this time. That has a factor of 2, and that has a factor of 2. I can factor from both brackets, so I need to factor from both brackets. So the first one is going to be 2 times 2x plus 3. The second bracket I can factor out a 2. That's going to leave me 2x plus 1. And the whole thing is over 4. Now look what I have outside the brackets up top. 2 times 2 is 4. Divided by 4 on the bottom, that cancels. So that leaves me my final answer, 2x plus 3 times 2x plus 1. And we can check that that works. Check your bracket. Sometimes you can factor out a 1. Sometimes you're going to have to factor out a 2. Okay, one last quick example. AC, 4 times 7 is 28. So I'm looking for things that multiply to 28 and add to 16. 1 and 28, 4 and 7, 2 and 14. My numbers are going to be 2 and 14. 2 times 14 is 28. 2 plus 14. So we're going to factorize. All right, both brackets are going to start with 4x because that's what A is. And my number is 2 and 14. The order doesn't matter. And the whole thing has to be over 4. Now, we need to check, can I factor anything out of the brackets? Well, yes, out of this first one, I can factor out a 2. And out of the next one, I can factor out a 2. So that's going to leave me. And the second bracket, I can factor out a 2, which is going to leave me with 2x plus 7. The whole thing is over 4. 2 times 2 is 4, divided by 4 is 1. Which leaves me with 2x plus 1 times 2x plus 7. Again, you can expand the brackets to make sure that works, or go back and check your notes from last time. I recommend, if you like the sound of this, go back with the ones we did last time and practice as you go through them. So one last thing before we say farewell to factorizing is, what geometric figure is like a runaway parrot? A polygon. See you later, year 8.